Before we get into the latest ESPN NFL mock draft, which will be posted on both the Chat Sports YouTube channel and on the NFL Draft by Chat Sports channel, if you want a post-Senior Bowl NFL mock draft, like the video for me right now. All right, 2 rounds. We'll go fast on some of these, so it's not a 45-minute video. Tennessee goes not quarterback here. Abdul Carter at number 1 overall. I think Chad Brinker's comments worked like, we're not going to pass up on a generational talent. That means that means a different person to each person you ask. That's how you generate trade interest in the number 1 overall pick. Good job. Browns at 2 also pass on quarterback, taking Travis Hunter. So 1, 2, 2, 1, depending on how you rank them, the general consensus top players in the draft go off the board. Quarterbacks wait until number 3 with Cam Ward going here to the New York Football Giants. They are thirsty for a QB. We all know that, and it would not be a surprise if they went down that path. Now, Mason Graham, number 4 to the New England Patriots, which, you can argue this is them just taking the best player available. That's fine with me. Hopefully, the Patriots are able to get back Christian Barmore from his blood clotting issue sooner rather than later. But a defensive line of a healthy Christian Barmore, Keon White, it's a really good start up front. Number 5, Will Johnson out of Michigan to the Jags. I think getting another corner outside of Tyson Campbell makes some sense. I am curious, by the way, what the speed looks like at the combine. No QBs go until number 6, and no surprise there, Shedeur Sanders to the Raiders at the number 6 overall spot. The athletic ability of the arm strength is not elite. It's not as good as Cam Ward's. The accuracy, though, is very, very impressive. Number 7, the Jets take Will Campbell. I'm a little hesitant to say it's another premium pick on the offensive line, but it's a good player, so I get it. Jalon Walker is going to be a divisive prospect. Is he athletic enough to play off-ball linebacker? Can he hold up full-time at edge? Is he a bit of a tweener? Does he play both in the same way that you've kind of seen Frankie Luvo used a little bit by the Commanders, for example? But that's a very talented, unique player. Tet McMillan goes number 9 to the Saints to help out with Chris Olave. Hopefully Olave's healthy after the concussion concerns. 6'5" and kind of moves way better than you think for somebody of that size. Back-to-back offensive linemen here. The Bears take Kelvin Banks. I was merging Bears and Kelvin into one word somehow. Bears take Kelvin Banks with, we'll see if he's a guard or a tackle. I think that's up in the air, which Bears could use help with both. I do like the Josh Simmons fit to the 49ers here. We'll see when Trent Williams calls it a career, but at minimum, play him at right tackle to start. And then your first, I think, real surprise here is number 12, Matthew Golden, out of Texas, where I like him. I think he's a good football player. I think he's got a long career in front of him as like a number 2 receiver. Over Luther Burden, maybe even over Emeka Egbuka is kind of dicey for me. But this is kind of the range you get into, this spot in the draft, where there's not a lot of consensus. Who is the 15th best player and who is like the 30th best player? There's going to be overlap there. A lot of disagreements. I think it could lead to a bit of an unusually crazy NFL draft. So if you want to come back to this question later at the end of the video, that's fine too. But I want you to grade Matt Miller's NFL mock draft at the pinned comments of today's show. A, B, C, D, or F. Go vote. Armand Membu, offensive line out of Missouri, help for Tua. Looks and is built more like a guard, but I think could hold up at tackle. But with the Dolphins' investments, he probably plays guard. A very popular mock draft pick here, Tyler Warren, Indianapolis. I would wonder if he could be a pick at number 7 for the Jets. Falcons get some pass rush help. Michael Williams, he missed time with an injury this year. I think that has to be acknowledged. I think there is some Trayvon Walker to his game. Do you trust the pass rush stuff? He's a very good run stopper, but is the pass rush going to develop? Jahdae Barron, one of my favorite players in this year's class, goes number 16 to the Arizona Cardinals. I am glad he is now kind of consistently being mocked as a first-round player because I think he is that good. Shamar Stewart to the Bengals at 17, and then also Jihad Campbell to Seattle at 18. I like the Campbell fit a lot for Seattle as long as you don't mind asking your linebackers to blitz. I think that fits really well. I still have some question marks about if that's how Mike McDonald would use him. It's different than what it was with Roquan Smith, but he can cover and blitz. Stewart is a very physically gifted player. He moves incredibly well. That's like 6'5", 285. He never had more than 2 sacks in a season. So how do you balance the upside versus where was that production? Edge is a big need, though, for the Bengals. Who is your favorite player in the 2025 NFL Draft? Let me know. Where else but the comment section of today's video. Love the value here at number 19. I don't know how big of a need receiver actually is unless they do lose Chris Godwin, because I like Jalon McMillan a lot. But Luther Burden as a after-catch, big play generator, I'm very high on him. Denver gets a tight end. This is a popular mock draft pick too. The Chargers or Denver going tight end. You see those a lot in the end. Colston Loveland didn't do a lot this year. He had some injuries. Also, Michigan's passing game stunk. Go back and watch 2023. It was very, very, very good. Emeka Egbuka has been a receiver too pretty much all his career for Ohio State. Still put up record-setting numbers for the Buckeyes. Willing blocker. The Bobby Trees comp is a very accurate one for me. Ashton Jeanty to the Chargers. Here he is. Plenty of Cowboys fans very mad about passing on Jeanty for Matthew Golden, I am sure. I would bet he goes earlier than this. I think he's too good. Even in a great back class, he's going to be a pretty consensus round 1 pick. He's going to be high on the boards when teams are on the clock pretty consistently. All right, Josh Connolly out of Oregon to Green Bay in round 1. They always find talent in the first round or outside the first round offensive line, but this is an immense upside player, former 5-star recruit. Minnesota getting defense tackle up also makes sense. Walter Nolan, again, it's an upside play. I don't love the consistency yet, but the traits are certainly there. Today's show is made possible by Game Time. They got a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events, whether it's sports, concerts, comedy, theater, everything else in between, easier than ever. It filters out the fluff to only show you incredible deals on great seats. So you don't have to waste time searching through thousands to find the best value. Keep an eye out for the super deal. It is the best value for any given event. We've also got other tiers like amazing, great, flash sales as well sometimes. The Game Time guarantee is this. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So download the Game Time app today, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But again, create your account, redeem code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Let's go to Houston at 25, Rams at 26 here. First up is Houston. There's your guard. I get a little bit worried about investing so much into the offensive line, but I think Booker is a reliable, very good starter, plug-and-play type of option here. Rams go cornerback, and this is a guy that I like because when you have a long, athletic, lanky corner like Azareye'h Thomas is, Wanya Thomas' brother, by the way, Cowboy safety, that guy typically doesn't last all that long. I'm excited to see how he tests at the Combine as well. Ravens go offensive line here. Jonah Savaiinaea, who I think is probably going to be a guard, which is his play style in the NFL. He's played all over the offensive line for Arizona, so shouldn't be a huge issue. Like the value here for Derek Harmon at 28. Again, pick your second best defense tackle behind Mason Graham. There's like 4 or 5 guys that fit that mold. One will probably go top 20. One might fall outside of round 1. All right, Commanders take James Pierce, 29 overall. Like that fit. Athletic edge rusher. Hopefully not the off-field concerns, but reminds me some of Randy Gregory play style-wise. Not a great run stopper. Fits well with Dan Quinn. Nick Amonwori, the athletic safety from South Carolina. I want to see him be more physical, but the tools are very impressive. All right, Eagles at 31. They get a steal in classic Eagles fashion. Howie did it again. Mike Green out of Marshall, I think, has a chance to go like top 15 in this year's class. fits well with what the Eagles want at edge and maybe need with some upcoming free agents and whatnot. Be a steal for Philly. And I like Kenneth Grant at 32 overall. Run-stopping defensive tackle who's got great athletic ability. Number 33, Trey Amos to the Cleveland Browns, and then Malachi Starks at 34. Couple of issues I had with the Matt Miller mock draft as things kind of moved along. The biggest of which was this. The Browns take Travis Hunter, who can play receiver and corner, and then they also drafted a good corner in round 2. Is he just a receiver for you now, or what's your overall game plan there? Safety-wise, the Giants just drafted Tyler Nubin, and I get that Jason Pinnock, who's played well as a free agent, but you're going to get a corner or quarterback and then go get another good player. Great, love the value. Another safety, though, is a little bit interesting to me. Now, we'll have more NFL videos for you right here on the channel. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Tennessee, who drafted 2 tight ends last year, ignoring the offense line, which they desperately need help for, and take Carson Schwarzenegger, who I like. Former walk-on, impact linebacker. Positional need doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I would have just taken Donovan Jackson, frankly. I think that would have made a lot of sense as the Jags take him at 36 overall. Number 37, Donovan Ezeraku out of Boston College. Argument made was that the Raiders need another pass rusher opposite Max Crosby, which, okay, sure. Maybe you're out on Tyree Wilson. You think you're going to lose Malcolm Kuntz. At that point, edge becomes a need. Another front 4 player for the Patriots, Jack Sawyer, which, again, sure, I would like to invest at some point in the offense. Well, maybe they did in free agency. I would have loved Amarian Hampton to the Raiders. He goes 39 to the Chicago Bears. Good haul for Chicago, by the way. Going offensive line and then running back worked out pretty well. Number 40, Jackson Dart to the Saints. And Dart is he throws a great deep ball. He's got good tools. I don't think they're great tools necessarily. I think he needs time to learn how to process an offense. It's not just a Lane Kiffin kind of borderline Mickey Mouse offense that works so well in college, but doesn't translate that great to the NFL. I think someone has to be QB3. Dart probably will be quarterback 3, but I think he's a late day 2 guy at best, not an early day 2 guy. Tyleik Williams to the Bears here as they get a big boy on the interior pair with Trevon Dexter for Dennis Allen's new defense. And then Quinn Ewers out of Texas to the Jets here. Would not be surprised if Jets took a QB to work as the heir apparent to either Aaron Rodgers or a short-term option, potentially. We'll hear more Quinn Ewers buzz once the combine rolls around. It'll be his turn to get the buzz instead of Jackson Dart. But I have issues with Quinn, a lot of them, frankly. He's not a top 5 QB for me in this class. How many QBs do you think are drafted in the first 2 rounds? Let me know in the comments of today's show. Love this pick for the Niners. Gray Zabel, who I think could play guard or center, fits in well. Niners investing in the O-line is something they need to do. Trigger warning for Cowboys fans. Elijah Arroyo out of Miami is a really good athlete. I like him a lot. The Cowboys' tight end round 2 draft pick track record, though, is really, really bad. All right, several corners all in a row here. Colts take Maxwell Harrison, who I think is probably be an outside corner with great ball skills. Benjamin Morrison, great talent. Is the hip okay, though, to the Falcons? Siobhan Ravel out of ECU to the Arizona Cardinals, coming off torn ACL. He might go even earlier than 47. Then TJ Sanders, as they get a defensive tackle here to help replace Christian Wilkins properly. The Bengals need edge help. Double dipping at edge is probably too much, though. It ignores DT, ignores secondary concerns. I like JT Tuimoloau. This is the right range for him. Adding another edge doesn't seem like great. That was kind of a constant theme in Matt Miller's mock draft. Was excess double dipping for me. Alfred Collins, again, right range for him, I think. Another Texas DT in the top 50 back-to-back years. Okay. Caleb Johnson to the back-to-back backs, I should say. Caleb Johnson, the Broncos, like that fit a lot. I think he's a good player for what Sean Payton wants to do. And Quinshon Judkins does fit pretty well as a just one-to-one Najee Harris replacement. Princely Uman McMillan out of Ole Miss to Tampa Bay here. Get some more pass rush help. No real complaints there. Love the value for Nick Scorton, who I thought was better at Purdue than he was this past year at Texas A&M. Shed some weight. I think he can still be a top 50 player at minimum in this class. Mason Taylor, the son of Jason Taylor, Dolphins legend, and nephew of Zach Taylor, by the way. Which is kind of funny how that one worked out for him. LSU tight end, I think obvious day 2 pick there. Joshua Farmer out of FSU, part of a great DT class, goes to the Bills. Quincy Riley, who I like, going to the Panthers here, which maybe I would have gone receiver, but corners a need to. It's fine. Deion Walker, I am scare-roused by. It's like 6'7", 350. It doesn't move like he's that size. Does stand up and have the leverage issues that come with being that tall. I think I can fix him, though. I like him a lot as a day 2 upside swing. Jalen Royals getting a route runners for Lamar Jackson makes sense. I am curious if the center class works out. Jared Wilson at 60 is a little bit rich for my blood, but we'll see what ends up happening to Frank Ragnow long term. Trey Harris, number 61 to the Commanders here, adding another number 2 receiver option, big body on the outside. I like that fit. Landon Jackson is who he is. He's going to be a edge setter on the outside, is not going to be a twitched up pass rusher. If you know that going in, you should like what he is. Terrence Ferguson to the Eagles, okay. I don't know if you need to spend a premium pick on a number 2 tight end behind Dallas Carter. That seems like not great investment usage there. And then Travion Henderson would be a very fun fit for the Chiefs. And not as expensive as the first-round pick they spent on Clyde Edwards-Helaire years ago.